Welcome to Tinker Club. We are back at it again. Leigh-Anne Nugent here with
Micah Adler.
welcome. We are tinkering with statements of work and other AI tools that help us in our business. So I've been in statement of work land trying to find the fastest way to produce a comprehensive statement of work for potential customers. Sometimes I can't really use AI to help me with that because there's a lot of analysis that I have to conduct. What is the current system and what is the use of each system for each team and building a matrix? So, really, there's not much AI can do except support me in the after part. Right? We're recording a conversation. I'm building a matrix style spreadsheet to just indicate what is the current system, what teams are using it, what are their current jobs to be done and activities, business capabilities that they're performing um, in each system, and then what is the implementation timeline and phase, all of that, and then I feed that in to help articulate what that process is going to look like moving forward. Right? So that's how it's helping me. What have you been tinkering with, Micah?
Uh, yeah, every day is a tinker day, but maybe I'll share my screen real quick and then
Sure. Yeah.
I've been working on Playbook,
Oh, great.
which has been very interesting here. I think this is the right desktop. Share. Do you see my desktop?
I see anyone can fundraise.
Yeah, that's right. So wait, okay. So in here, I have, so this has been really interesting. I have what we have called impact playbooks. And I think I may have showed that last week. But here, what you do is you can sign up and then the sign up goes to an area, which is an administrative area, which I created inside. I use Cursor for that. So I use Cursor to set this up. So you sign up here and then like if I say, Jamie Henry, I don't know. And then Jamie at gmail.com. And then I say activate Playbook, then it sends it to the backend area. And then what I did is I used Cursor to create the backend area. So if you look
Oh,
here,
wow.
you can see Playbook management and you can see there's two people in here and the playbook you can actually copy and send it to them. And you can have, for
Wow.
example, send them an email, mark it as sent, and then mark it as complete or delete it or whatever. The cool thing is, so it goes further than that. So I created an analytics page. So now you can see all the analytics in Google Analytics inside my website. So how many people click on it? Here, you can see like scheduling. So you have a scheduling widget inside the actual, inside here. The scheduling widget is inside here. So I'll show you this. So this is the actual playbook. So this is what I would send. So
Okay.
they'll get this and then they can access all of the resources. So these are resources that I've created. And then, this is a little bit messed up.
Oh, from a formatting perspective, yeah.
Formatting perspective,
Yeah.
something that I gotta fix. But when you click here, you can schedule an appointment right away.
Yeah.
And then it will show you back in the scheduling area inside here that somebody's clicked on it. We don't know who clicked on it because I'm not having people sign in,
Mhm.
but you can see the number of clicks and
Right.
Calendly widgets and stuff like that. So I don't need to go back to, usually this is in Google Console. So that was pretty cool to set that all up. and it works pretty well. So if anybody clicks on stuff, I can see them.
Mm.
So that was one thing that I did. And then if you look at the playbooks really quick, here, you can see there's like, I'm using, so prospect finder one pager. So this is just, for now, it's just Google Docs. And then I'm using a custom GPT that I created that you can walk through. So prospect finder AI. And then you just type in the name of the nonprofit, and then basically you go from there, and it's a pretty quick setup and steps.
So good.
Yeah, it works pretty well. And then what I'm going to do is add in videos so people know, like, oh, okay, this is cool, but like, I want to see what you need to do. So I'm going to add in videos for that. So that's that. And it was done to Cursor and, me helping Cursor basically.
Yeah.
Or Cursor helping me. I'm not sure which one. But the other thing that I did, and this is really cool. Okay, so this is Manus that we were talking about. This is like Manus, but it's in ChatGPT, and it's been made available to everybody who
I have not tested this yet.
It is cool.
Really?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it works well. You need a Plus account, which is like a paid account for like $20-something a month. But like this, I'll just give you a quick example of what it does. Because if you run, the only issue right now is kind of slow. So like you ask it to do it, and I said, hey, create a PowerPoint for me, and it did create the PowerPoint. So, maybe I can show you the PowerPoint. But these are the kind of things it does. Suggested schedule airport ride with, conduct calendar audit for the last 6 months. Like it can do all these different types of things. It can do reports. So like audit certain things for me, take certain actions, like order Chinese food from DoorDash. So this is like the future. And what it does is it connects to your apps. So you can see all the apps that I have connected here. So Canva, GitHub, Gmail, Google Calendar, HubSpot. So it connects, and you can connect more apps to it as it goes along. And I'm assuming they're going to have more connections and stuff like that. The basic difference is they're using the web now. So when you click in it and say, let's say, I don't think it's going to do it for me, but if it did, let's see, I'm going to order something on DoorDash. So if I clicked here, and then I would say, hey, okay, this is a trusted site to do it. It doesn't have my DoorDash information, so I think it's impossible for it to order for me on DoorDash. But then anyway, it's going to go through and actually order it, which is crazy. So then it goes into, this is an actual web page in its own environment. So it's doing very similar stuff to what Manus is doing, because Manus goes into its own environment. And then on the right-hand side, you have, and it's going to DoorDash, right? And if it actually does start to order for me, I think it's impossible, because I didn't give it my login information. I was like, yeah, okay, you got to stop.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, so this is like, imagine that you have, and like OpenAI is talking about like these new devices, right? So they have these new.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it's saying I'm opening my desktop. It's saying, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they have these new devices, right?
Okay.
That say it's just, it's not a phone anymore. You just say, hey, can you just like order DoorDash for me? And I want to buy whatever. The only issue you're going to have, and I don't know what the device is going to be eventually for OpenAI, they're creating something, but you would have to see visually what's on DoorDash, because otherwise you wouldn't know what to order. But like, it's going to be a completely different new device, which is kind
of be interesting.
Yeah, it's super interesting. So yeah, now it's trying to like figure out how to log in the DoorDash. I'm going to actually stop it because I don't want it to order anything on DoorDash for me. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, anyway, it's kind of cool and interesting. And you can see the progression of how things are going.
Mm.
This is where it's going. And then the other thing it will do is it will create uh, it will create a PowerPoint or an Excel document, and it will look in HubSpot and say, hey, give me a summary of everything that's there. So it does a lot of the same stuff that Claude and the Claude Canvas does, and it's a little bit slower. That's the big drawback, but you can see if you want to use it to create documents, it will do exactly what you're asking. So,
Yeah. So right now it's setting up my desktop. I provided it my logo and past statement of work contracts that I've had, so that it has an idea of what my formatting needs to look like. And then my signature. That might not be the safest thing to do, but
yeah.
we'll see.
That may be the difference. Is this is definitely it's a U.S. corporation. It's OpenAI, and they should be held to some standard. The other thing that this does is what I would do is if you're creating documents and stuff, I would say, hey, start it on a canvas. A canvas is its own workspace, and then push it to a Word doc. So that,
but formatted. The thing that I liked about Manus is that we would have a brainstorm session on what the content would be, and then I would give it all of the images and the reference files, and then it would create a nicely formatted document. Some things that it would lack on is, the footer doesn't necessarily always work. I only have a footer on the last page. And so I have to remind it to do those little nuance things like that. But generally, that's what I liked about Manus, is that it created a really nice formatted document.
yeah. And the other thing I also like about Manus was that it actually updates that particular document. Whereas here, so far, at least with what I've used for the agent, it creates a new document. And that's kind of irritating that it's well, it may be good for having various records of the documents. So in that way, it may be good. There's a way you should go about it. And that's to initially do all your edits and create the final version on a canvas and then push it over to a document. So yeah, it created a PowerPoint. It was okay, not bad. But I think, let me check really quickly to see if I can find the PowerPoint. If I can't find it, actually, I can show you later. It may be difficult to find within the mess of things that I've created. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Things are moving quick. Things are getting better. You can see things are connecting.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like that so much. So my desktop has been set up and it says, yes, I can absolutely create polished statements of work that match your branding. Use your logo, signature, formatting based off of the samples you shared. So to get started, it's asking for details like the client information, the project overview, engagement details, and any special sections. And then signature requirements. So the name and rules for both parties. So we'll see how it does. And then, we'll see if it's any better or worse than what I had with Manus. Because I've had to do a few iterations with Manus. And so one thing that I did like about Manus is that there was I did one recommendation of a proposal, which is effectively like a quote, right? Or an estimate. And they're like, oh, that's a lot. Can you just break it down to be like the minimum amount that we need to go live? And I was like, okay. So I just said, okay, now little Manus, this is the most immediate need. Can you rebuild a whole new document? And sometimes it's, and then it even said, it changed the format and it said, this is the critical path to go live. And it did a nice little format thing. So yeah, it was cool how quickly it it panned out. And then the other thing that's interesting about Manus is that it can create a website.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was doing some research for Automotive Cloud because I'm doing a webinar in a couple of weeks. And I was like, oh, based off of all this information, like what does a digital transformation playbook look like for automotive industries? And it created like a cute consideration of what digital transformations could look like for that industry and the importance of a team and what that, I don't know, it was kind of cool thing.
Yeah. I think for me, the difference between Manus and the OpenAI version, OpenAI does create a website as well.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
in the canvas, it's a static website. So that's
Yes,
not as useful. Whereas
correct.
in Claude, you can actually create a website that's not static. So that takes data and updates real time. So
That's great.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
But Manus, the advantage, at least right now, is that
it's really fast. Yeah.
OpenAI is not
It's really
fast. It's really slow. So like what I did, is I gave it something
okay.
and then I went off like for a bike ride with my wife.
Yeah.
And I was like, go.
Yeah. Go do your thing. I'm going to go do mine. And that's probably the best way to do it, right? Like it's also summertime in Toronto and we don't have very many days like this.
No,
So I'm going to do the same thing. Like this afternoon, I'm going for a kayak. Is
that's
that
so
a
cool.
ride?
A kayak. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like, I didn't know that there's like a path that you can take in the Toronto Islands.
Like with
So
water.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So there's like a channel that you can do. So you just basically go to the Toronto Islands and then there's like a 4-hour kayak ride where you can do the whole thing or you can just like do the chicken exits. There's a 1-hour one and there's a 2-hour one and then a 4-hour one. Who knows what we'll come up with, but yeah, that's the plan for today. So like what can I run in the background while I'm out for a kayak ride, while you're out for a bike ride?
So like literally you can say, hey, can you like do this? And then just like when it starts, the agent starts, it asks one question. And then you say, okay, go. I'm gonna go on like a kayak ride. So,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
in the future, when you say, okay, there's gonna be a device, then you could theoretically, I'm on my kayak ride and I decide I want to do this like right now. And I want the agent to do it for me. Can you please do this for me? Start.
Yeah.
And then it's like doing work for you while you're out and about, celebrating birthdays, doing kayak rides, like, taking your kids to school. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, all this
Right.
stuff.
Or just like going to their baseball game or their like dance recital or yeah. I don't
And
know.
like, it knows what you're thinking. It's got like a lot of your information. So the future, you kind of see it like being
Yeah.
created and it doesn't seem too far off. What are the
Yeah.
repercussions? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And like would be nice to have it as a small little device that can be put into something, right? Like a teddy bear or something like really cute. A Labubu. Hey
Hello.
Chip, a Labubu. And you're like, the Labubu is a thing. Then maybe I'll finally buy one of those damn things. But no, like all our Salesforce stuffies could be like a agent. That would be
Hey,
fun.
hey, Einstein, make sure that all my invoices are sent out. Bye.
Right? That would be pretty funny. Or like, I guess because it's kind of like that, a dot, like no different than an Alexa or a home device thing. But then again, that's like just based off of what we know. Like we don't know what they're going to come up with. It could be something that we've never seen before. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it is interesting.
it's Ives, right? So he's like brilliant. So
I
maybe
know. So I'm excited to see. There was like when I turned on the agent thing, it said that more updates were coming in August, I think another month from now.
so
So it'll be interesting to see what happens then.
yeah. No, super
Well,
interesting
cool.
stuff.
Yeah. And it's good to be at the forefront to just, we're not really getting too deep into each new technology. We're just scratching the surface to see how it would evolve because I don't think we're done yet, right? Everything that we learned 6 months ago is gone already. So you can't really build on some of these old um, like technologies already. Like they're considered old. So just like the only things that you can really build on are like the foundations of how we think and how we plan and how we structure the like ultimately the end result of what the problem is that we're trying to solve and what the solution is going to look like. It's just the path of execution. It might be different. That's all.
Yeah. I think to add to that, I mean, there's changes and you can see there's a progression in those changes that are happening very quickly. The question would be for organizations, how am I going to deal with this? Am I going to wait till all the progressions are complete? Or am
Mm,
I going to go along for the ride? And
yeah.
like from my perspective, I feel like you need to go along for the ride
Yep.
because it's like if you buy a new car and you wait for the best technology or a new phone for the best technology is always progressing. So you may never even get started.
Yeah. I would say if you're going to take on that mindset, you would need to have a resilient staff, right? Or if your employee base is open and willing for that level of change, because it will happen really quickly, then sure, even your customer base. But it'd be like, sure, you can run these experiments in the background all the time and as you should, but will they become production ready? That's really the question. So, yes, you run these experiments as they're evolving so that you know what's going on and how you can solve problems with these new technologies. But if your employee base isn't that flexible,
Yeah.
you're going to be in trouble from a change management perspective. So you just have to start communicating. I think it's just a matter of just remember you're still dealing with people. Just because we're using all this technology, we just have to bring them along as part of the journey and just let them know. Just because we're making a change doesn't mean that this is going to be the way that it is forever. Because guess what? We're going to make a change like maybe in 3 months. So just buckle up. We're just always going to be changing things.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
on the other sides, actually, like lately, what I've been really thinking is AI and automation is like what I'm doing a lot of. But at the same time, I'm thinking you have to become more human. So it's kind of like
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
in juxtaposed. The AI
Yeah.
and automation will enable us, for example, to go on a trip with a kayak and to be able to do that. That's more of a leisurely type thing. But at the
Mhm.
same time, at work, if I'm instituting or implementing AI and automation, what are the things that people can actually do when they're communicating with other people, which AI and automation cannot do?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. It's a good one. A lot of insights here today at Tinker Club. We are doing our best to deepen our knowledge in technology as well as live our best lives as human beings. Um, we, we still have a long way to go. So we have to be sustainable in the way that we do our tinkering. So this is how we do it.
For sure.
All right. That was a lot of fun. Thanks, Micah.
Thank you, Leigh-Anne.
All right. See ya.
Bye.